You think sharing your struggle makes you look weak. The leaders people actually follow, they're the ones brave enough to be human. Welcome to Daily Power Boost. Ignite your potential, the podcast where your transformation begins. I'm Sean Michael, and each day I'll bring you quick, impactful insights and action steps to fuel your personal and professional growth. Whether you're an entrepreneur, a leader, or someone ready to break limits and ignite greatness, this is your daily power boost to crush obstacles, stay focused, and awaken the extraordinary potential within you. Because remember, greatness begins within. Let's go. Welcome back to Daily Power Boost. Yesterday, we talked about the people who knew you before and why they matter now more than ever. Today, I'm addressing what those people remind you of. It's safe to be human. Here's the trap most leaders fall into as they rise. They think vulnerability is a liability. They think admitting struggle makes them look incompetent. They think showing uncertainty will cost them credibility. So they hide it. They perform confidence that they don't feel. They present a version of themselves with it all together. And the higher they climb, the more isolated they become, because no one can connect with a performance. I recall a conversation with a leader who had built something significant. From the outside, they looked untouchable, confident, composed, in control. One day, in a private conversation, they admitted something. I feel like I'm drowning, and I can't tell anyone because they expect me to have all the answers. And I asked them, what would happen if you told your team the truth? They paused and said, they'd lose confidence in me. But here's what's actually happening. They were caught in thinking that said vulnerability equals weakness. And when you're stuck in that thought, hiding feels like the only viable option. But that thought, it's not truth. It's simply an old belief that leadership requires perfection. Perfection is a performance nobody can sustain. Here's what happens when you hide your struggle. You create a distance between yourself and everyone else. Your team starts thinking, they have it all figured out. I must be the only one struggling. And this creates a culture where no one feels safe being honest. The reality is, people don't follow perfect. They follow real. And when you perform invincibility, you teach everyone around you to do the same. And slowly, the whole culture becomes a performance. Here's the shift. Vulnerability isn't weakness. It's courage. And the paradox is this. The leaders brave enough to say, I don't have all the answers. They're the ones people trust the most. Not because they're incompetent, because they're honest. And honesty creates connection in a way perfection never can. So let's reframe what vulnerability actually is. Vulnerability is not oversharing. It's not dumping your problems on your team. It's not abdicating your leadership by saying, I don't know what to do. Vulnerability is saying, I'm navigating something hard. I don't have all the answers yet, but I'm committed to figuring it out. It's not weakness. It's human leadership. Here's the insight underneath this. When you're in a clear state of mind, not caught up in some insecure thinking about needing to prove yourself, vulnerability, it happens naturally. You don't even have to force it or perform it. You just tell the truth. Because in a clear state, you stop worrying about what people think. You're just present, and presence is vulnerability. And that presence, that's what we're anchoring Monday. The grounded leader, staying human no matter how high you climb. It's our Arc 3 finale, bringing together everything we've learned about isolation, outgrowing circles, finding mentors, staying connected with who you were, and leading with vulnerability. But first, let me land today with your vulnerability paradox practice. Think of one thing you're navigating right now that you haven't shared with anyone. Not because it's a secret, but because you're afraid it will make you look weak. And ask yourself, what would happen if I told the truth about this? Not as a complaint, as a reality. The truth most leaders miss: the moment you share what you're actually navigating, you give everyone else permission to be human too. And that creates a culture where people don't have to perform. They can just lead. The leaders people follow, they're not the ones who never struggle. They're the ones brave enough to admit when they do. Perfection creates distance. Vulnerability creates trust. The deeper truth: when you stop thinking you need to have it all together and you drop out of that anxious thought that says your credibility depends on appearing invincible, you lead from a completely different place. A human place, a grounded place. And that's where the best leadership happens. This was the vulnerability paradox: why leaders who share struggle lead better. Monday, the grounded leader, staying human no matter how high you climb. That'll close out Arc 3 with everything you need to stay connected, stay real, and stay grounded, even as you rise. With strength and heart, I'm Shawn Michael. Stay close. Thanks for tuning in to Daily Power Boost. Ignite your potential. Remember, transformation starts with action. So take today's insight, make it your own, and awaken your inner potential. Because remember, greatness begins within. Catch you tomorrow for your next Power Boost.